Hello everyone, I'm Chen Chu and I'm a planner at the City of Richmond Hill. I'm going to give a short overview of the Draft Official Plan Amendment 18.4 on neighborhoods. But first, I should let you know that the City of Richmond Hill's official plan update started in 2019 with lots of public consultation along the way. A big milestone was the completion of the Key Directions Report, which was endorsed by Council. The Key Directions Report is a roadmap for how the official plan will be updated. It has a vision for city planning that was developed with Council and the public, and it has lots of details on what changes need to be made to the official plan in order to achieve that vision over the next 20 years. The city is now in the third phase of the OP update process. This phase is all about making changes to the official plan. The city will amend the official plan through 3 batches of OPAs. By the way, OPA is short for Official Plan Amendment. The first batch of OPAs will be done before the approval of the Regional Official Plan, and after that, batches 2 and 3 will go next. In total, there are 14 separate OPAs, and they're done separately for 2 reasons. Firstly, this approach helps people digest information on the OPAs based on themes or geographic areas. Secondly, this approach is flexible and it gives time to deal with any issues. Therefore, OPAs on specific themes or geographic area can be approved without holding up other themes that might need more time. We are now working on Batch 1 OPAs, and this presentation focuses on OPA 18.4, which is about neighborhoods. In our other video about the vision and city structure, I mentioned that neighborhood is one of the 4 parts of the city structure. Neighborhoods are mostly residential areas and they make up 40% of the city's lands. One of the key goals of OPA 18.4 is to add vibrancy in and near neighborhoods by creating 15-minute communities. These are places that have a mix of land uses like houses, stores and restaurants, schools, doctor's offices, and parks. You can see in this picture there are lots of places people can walk or bike to, where they can meet their daily needs and socialize with friends and family. 15-minute communities help people be more active and rely less on cars. OPA 18.4 proposes changes which will allow more community amenities to be located close to homes, and this will allow more people to work from their neighborhoods. More specifically, the OPA proposes to increase home occupation types so that they are no longer limited to just a professional or office use. The OPA also clarifies that live-work units and neighborhood commercial uses can locate anywhere along an arterial street. And when it comes to community uses like schools, the OPA would relax some of the criteria to make it easier for new ones to locate in neighborhoods. Creating 15-minute communities also means having a variety of housing types in our neighborhoods. Right now, the official plan allows single-detached, semi-detached, and duplex houses in all of our neighborhoods. These types of low-density housing make up 63% of the total number of houses in Richmond Hill. The city's affordable housing strategy states that low-density housing is the most expensive type of housing, and the city has an affordability problem. The background studies show that a lot of young adults can't afford to buy or rent a home in the city, and so they are moving elsewhere or they're choosing to continue to live with their parents. The study also showed that seniors find it hard to stay in their current neighborhoods because it's physically difficult and costly to take care of their big homes, but there isn't enough of other housing options for them in the same neighborhood where they want to stay. As such, this OPA proposes to diversify the housing types in neighborhoods. One idea the city is proposing is to allow multi-attached housing. For some of you, this might be a new concept, but it's not really new. Just think of your traditional single or semi-detached house and then divide that into smaller units so that maybe 3 or more households could live in it. And why should we consider multi-attached housing? Well, for example, if young adults are still living at home, a multi-attached house would give them separate space. Also, if another household or 2 could share a house owned by a senior, the maintenance costs can be shared among all of these households. Homeowners can also choose to rent out these units. You may have caught on by now that multi-attached housing sounds a lot like secondary suites, and you're right. The city already permits a secondary suite in a house. This idea would allow for one or two more to be created, depending on how big those homes are allowed in the zoning bylaw. As shown on the screen, from the outside, nothing is changed, but inside the house, there are walls that separate these additional units. We have heard some concerns about parking and garbage collection, and we want to reassure you that since multi-attached houses are just an extension of the secondary suite policies in the official plan, these additional units would also follow the same rules for parking and garbage collection. The city will consult with the public to see whether multi-attached houses should be allowed in existing houses or new builds, and whether they should be allowed in all neighborhoods or be limited to only certain areas in the city. Did you know that the official plan also permits other forms of housing like townhouses, triplexes, and walk-up apartments? These are called medium-density housing. They offer different housing choice, and they are more affordable than single or semi-detached houses. Currently, medium-density housing are allowed in centers and corridors and in some parts of neighborhoods. OPA 18.4 proposes to loosen the rules about where medium-density housing can occur in neighborhoods so that more of them can be built. The OPA proposes to continue to allow medium-density housing along arterial streets and to allow them in the interior of city blocks on collector streets and local streets if they meet certain criteria. What is new is that they could also be permitted on streets that are adjacent to centers and corridors too. Through this OPA consultation, the city hopes to balance the need for diversifying housing options while also preserving the distinguishing features of neighborhoods. These features can be physical, like having similar building types and styles, or patterns of streets, but they can also be about unique things in an area, like a specific cultural area or places with historic homes or really old trees. However, neighborhood character and the things that make them unique do change over time, which is why OPA 18.4 proposes that any development that intends to make significant change in a neighborhood would need to identify the distinguishing features of the neighborhood and make sure those features are improved or complemented by the new build. This way, communities can feel at ease that new development would be a good fit with the local neighborhood. Thanks for watching this video. If you would like to learn more, please visit and subscribe to the city's webpage at richmondhill.ca/OP update. And feel free to attend our public open house on April 26 and the council public meeting on May 18. To speak at the council public meeting, please register with the city's clerk. See you soon!